Hello, welcome back to the yard. Just wanted to update. As far as the torch goes, I carved up a little plastic spacer piece like I was talking about, and I put it around the 1/4-inch copper, and it has taken up the space between this and the pipe, and it fits really nice and holds the orifice where it's supposed to be. I don't know if you guys can quite see that, but I messed with the orifice some more, did a little more research. The smaller your orifice to a point, the farther it's gonna and harder it's gonna shoot the propane. But so if you have it too big, you get a really weak kind of not jet flame, and if you have it too small, you don't get enough fuel. So you gotta find the right balance there. Now I know I should probably use set screws or something, but just take a little stick here, very little tiny stick, because it really doesn't get that hot back here. And I use it to prop up the torch so that it can get more air through those holes instead of laying flat on the pipe the way it was. Oh, come on. Awkward. One-handed awkwardness, eh? Alright, let's make sure that's where it's supposed to be. Now, I've already done this a few times. As you can see, this is dried right out now. Okay, so yeah, that's right where I want it. This goes right in the center so that we can get a good tornado of fire around it, which is good. And so I got my hose out. Got the hose out, and it's going to my propane tank over there, which I also bought a new one because all I had was old ones, and they don't want to refill old ones for you. So here's what I've done so far. A little muffin tin like everybody. Here's my pile of dross that has been accumulating, and I've actually not had too much metal sticking to my dross. Seems when you mix it just a little bit, you just kind of mix it up. And I've been using this long steel rod, used to be a CB rod antenna. I use that to stir it up. You just stir it up, give it a wiggle, all the dross pops right to the top and all the metal goes right down. If your temperature is right, you got to be a little bit above melting temperature so that it flows freely off the dross. I haven't found really the need to flux. So here's my very first ones, and they had quite a bit of shrinkage. As you can see, there's a big dimple in that one, right? And so the first three had quite a big dimple. And then after that, I threw in some cast aluminum with it that had the additive that prevents the shrinkage a little bit, and now you can see there's much less of a dimple, almost nothing. So when I use those, it'll still have that additive in it, and it'll help prevent the shrinkage. Just something to think about. Anyways, so we're gonna fire it up again. Oh, I went and bought these things because obviously pretty low budget here, so I don't have any tools to pick this thing up and deal with it. I was using a small pair of pliers, and trust me, that sucks. Especially when you got a decent amount of aluminum in there and it starts getting a little heavier. Yeah, that sucks. So, here's my dross scooper. Just a little stainless steel spoon that I bent a little bit so I can get it in the crucible and get it right. And sometimes you take out a little bit of aluminum, but honestly, if I get too much aluminum in my dross, I just throw it back in the melt and stir it again and deal with it. And it all comes out nice and ashy, and it's good. Okay, so yeah, I just use the pliers to hold on to that, and I get in there and scoop the stuff out. It's great. So I got a bunch more aluminum here I'm going to melt up again. Got my torch ready to go. I got my hose, and I know I'm not using a regulator, but you know what? These new tanks, they got regulators built. Well, they've got safety shutoffs. If it starts flowing too much through this valve, it's got a safety shutoff. It'll just slam it shut. So yeah, when you open them up, you want to do it nice and slow and have all the other valves closed so it just fills the holes. Let's hear the hiss. It'll fill up the hose. There we go. And just give it a little bit of a turn after that. You don't need it to be flowing super hard. You don't need to open her all the way up or anything. And then I got my needle valve holding it. I got this one not holding it. And so yeah, we're gonna light her up. Here's my little piece of paper I'm gonna use. And let's get it happening. Ouch. There we go. And we'll get some. There we go. Just got it. Wasn't awkward or anything. Turn her up a little bit. Just a little bit at first. You can adjust it later. I don't know if this is getting picked up or not. Well, anyway, it's burning good. Place this. This crucible's been working really good too. The bottom of a fire extinguisher. It's been working really good. Okay. Oh, it almost flickered out there. A little bit breezy today. So, to cut down the wind, you want to get your lid on it pretty quick. I will come back later on when we got some of this melted. We'll take a little video of it melting in the meantime. Okay, see you guys soon.